When you think of pyramids, you probably think of Egypt, the Middle East, perhaps Mexico. But what if I told you that in October 2005, a man found the oldest and largest of them all, in a small town in Bosnia? After being invited on a trip to some medieval ruins in the town of Visoko Bosnia, the man at the center of this, Semir Osmanagic, began to notice something strange about the surrounding area. The hills looked like pyramids. Semir quickly put together a team of esteemed researchers, and their early investigation uncovered some strange features. The pyramid's sides corresponded with his compass. There were gigantic stones laid out perfectly against one another, smaller stones that were so densely packed they couldn't have been naturally formed, and there were steps like that of Teotihuacan along one side they partially excavated.
These are the first uncovered walls of the pyramid. This is the northeastern side. As you can see, the surface is perfectly flat. We can see the places where they meet. So I would say this is the crucial material proof.
Based on carbon dating of organic fossils they found inside the excavated area, they estimated the pyramid to be around 30,000 years old.
Our archaeologist Nicola Visconti, on the top of the blocks, he discovered organic material. We did radiocarbon dating, and the age was 24,800 years, plus minus 200 years.
This discovery would completely change history. Wasting no time, Semir created the non-profit Pyramid of the Sun Foundation for further funding. The foundation garnered hundreds of thousands of dollars in public donations and thousands more from state-owned companies. Even the former Malaysian Prime Minister, Mahathir Mohamad, donated to the cause. With the influx of funds, the team began excavating again, and what they found next sent shockwaves around the world. They found irrefutable evidence that the site was man-made. There were long tunnels underneath the pyramid. By June 2006, Semir had a team working to uncover this tunnel, which he believed to be a network that would lead him inside the pyramid, and was even convinced the area had multiple other pyramids and sites, naming them all himself. As time went on, the team had uncovered almost a mile's worth of tunnels underneath the structure, and even stranger than this, large parts of the tunnels looked to have been purposefully filled in, and there were man-made dry walls blocking some tunnels off. With the backing of experts such as Enver Buza, a surveyor from Sarajevo's Geodetic Institute, who stated the Pyramid of the Sun is oriented to the north with a perfect precision, and the plethora of evidence they had uncovered from the site, the region was flooded with visitors. By 2008, Semir claimed it was the most significant monument in the country, and began to claim the site possessed a mystical healing aura. Within 5 years, the region had seen over 400,000 visitors, and it is estimated the site was receiving around 5% of the Bosnian archaeological budget at the time. Osmanagic's work made him somewhat of a local star. He was doing seminars at universities, going for meals with politicians, and was even giving Novak Djokovic personal tours of the site. Semir was at the forefront of the greatest discovery of the 21st century. He had rewritten history and proved the existence of a lost civilization, right? Well, not exactly. You see, Semir wasn't a professional archaeologist, geologist, or researcher. He was a businessman, and when it came to selling a story that would bring in more people and more money, he was all over it. But when it came to providing quality evidence of this site being a man-made pyramid, he wasn't really offering anything. Critics had been on his back from the start, and as their patience grew thin, they made a number of alarming points against Semir's pursuit to rewrite history. His team of researchers? Some of them hadn't even set foot on the site, and one person who he claimed to be a British politician didn't even exist. The tunnels his team found? After being properly investigated, they're mostly naturally formed. Some people believe Semir's team is actually creating a large part of the tunnel system themselves too. As for the tunnels being filled in,
and this tunnel is completely filled up with this material.
Listen to what Bert Mertens had to say on this after filming a documentary on the site.
What happens with conglomerate when it dries out? It starts to fall down. So what we see, the fill-up material, is nothing more than the ceiling that has dropped through the years down, leaving an open space at the top, what we saw there. So it's very simple.
He also commented on the dry walls that were blocking some tunnels.
Here we can see a big dry wall.
You are several hundred meters from the entrance. You have your side tunnels. They're filling it up with material and also water. And it's taking all those materials into your main entrance. So what do? You block them off. No drywall went up to the ceiling. So that's my solution for the drywalls. We're talking about some centuries.
Considering Visoko is a known medieval site, it seems much more plausible than Osmanagic's theory. The shape of the hill? Similar hills can be found all over the world. The hill in Bosnia also only looks like a pyramid from one angle. But what about the perfectly placed rocks that couldn't be naturally formed? I'll let Dr. Robert Schock's words do the talking here. I have looked at the exact same rocks and sites firsthand, and I believe that all of the so-called pyramid features are easily accountable for in terms of natural geological processes and features.
Sometimes people simply misidentify natural structures, natural hills.
It is important, too, to note that Robert Schock is an advocate of the lost civilization theory who went into this with an open mind. The European Association of Archaeologists went as far as writing a manifesto against the government's decision to allow Osmanagic to dig at the site, describing it as a cruel hoax on an unsuspecting public and a waste of scarce resources that would be much better used in protecting the genuine archaeological heritage. Even Graham Hancock and Zahi Hawass are in agreement that this is not a pyramid. When do those two agree on anything?
Don't talk to me! Please! Go away from me!
So, do I believe this is a pyramid?
Absolutely fucking not.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments.